Whoa, it's all of us again. Another Pallet Table podcast with Friendy, Perry, and Clifford.
Clifford.
I know
Yeah.
you guys.
Whoa,
I,
I've seen
I,
you guys
I think I've
before.
seen you on the street. What the heck?
Once or twice.
I,
Yeah.
On the street.
I hear
The
I hear
elevated
Perry's
street.
been getting pizza lately.
That sounds so good. I could go for a pizza.
What's your
uh,
pizza? What's your go-to pizza? That's my question of the week. Your
Orange
go-to
chicken on the pizza,
What?
and then chow mein on like the
Are we
crust.
talking Chinese
so
food or
chow mein crust.
maybe I
orange
want
chicken
Chinese pizza.
man,
Chinese
Chinese
Blend
food?
the cultures together. Yum yum.
Crazy.
Does sound good.
Mm.
Actually, everything might sound good right now just because I'm hungry.
We're all
Oh, no.
hungry.
We're so hungry.
Yeah, starving artists. Legit.
Yeah.
Oh, so legit.
Big true.
Oh yeah, if we hear any cats, it might be me, but it might also be Friendy. So don't let appearances fool you.
You have to edit in a cat now every time you hear a cat in the background.
No.
It has to walk by.
A drinking game of cats. If you hear
Yeah.
a cat, drink some water. What is the topic for art today?
Oh,
Since we
man.
are starving artists.
Okay, so we went to our handy dandy YouTube studio and the recommended section for top searches in our niche, and it decided that what is currently hot on YouTube are the following searches: art channels on YouTube, how to grow your drawing channel, how to stylize your art, digital art YouTubers, aesthetic art YouTube channels, digital art for beginners, content for art channels, which I think we covered in our previous stream. So feel free to add that to your watch list. As well as drawing YouTube channel ideas, how to find inspiration for art, best sketching channels on YouTube, ours, of course, and how to get your dream art style.
I think that's a good
Ooh.
one. How to get your dream art style.
Yeah, because I'm like on this binge kick of like having all this eye candy at me, and I want to like regurgitate it somehow, and with like art studying next month. So this is a topic right up my alley. Hey,
What do you think?
look.
I do see kind of like a relationship here between aesthetic art channels, dream art style, how to stylize your art was like the second list. So yeah, stylization, finding your art style, it all seems kind of interconnected. I think we can start there.
Mhm.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
I think the first question is, do you feel like you have found your dream art style, or are you still working your way toward it?
I'm good on it. I'm content, but also I like. Who's to say I don't want another art style just to put in the arsenal? No.
So dream art style. Friendy, you said you're still working on yours?
I'm good. I'm
Oh,
content.
you're done.
I'm good.
got
I'm
it.
done.
Your art style's complete. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's complete. But you know, just to put one in the arsenal, just like have one in the bank, just in case this art style flops. Which it's not, because it's amazing. But you know, just in case.
Oh, would now be a great time to plug these beautiful avatars were made for
Oh my
us
gosh.
by Fendi?
Yeah, she did a great job. They look so good.
No.
I love
no.
little pup. He looks so cute.
Super cute.
Ugh.
If you think we're cute too, give us a thumbs up.
Oh my gosh. You guys, you're making me blush.
Which one's the best one, and why is it the dog?
I don't know.
Actually-
I kind of like
actually,
the
I think-
bunny.
I think I like the bunny the most, honestly. It's like perfect.
It's super
Oh, well then I do like the dog then. Never mind the bunny. I
Oh,
do like
wow.
the dog.
no love for the cat, and you have a cat.
cat-
I feel betrayed.
I have
Cat-
I have too many cats.
I can't, you guys. Somebody show me some love in the comments. They were not loving on the cat. I see how it is. Cats
feel
last
like
in
singled
line.
out.
I
I
like
think
all
it's
the
because we
animals.
both have bunny avatars, and so
Terrible.
Bias.
0 out of 10.
0 out of 10.
No. Oh no, Perry. How are you with your art style? Are you content with it? You want to keep going with it? Evolve it?
I don't know that I've really thought about it. I know it's a very common, I see the question pop up a lot. A lot of people in the art community are constantly sort of fixating on this question, and it's a good thing to have a goal. So if you have an art style that you want to achieve and you're working your way toward it, or if you're developing your own because you want to find your own unique way, beautiful. All of that's beautiful. I think for me, I I'm so focused on just making the drawings with the time limits that I have, because I do have pretty rigid schedule, that style was like a luxury I couldn't afford to focus on. So I believe I
Mhm.
have a style. I don't know that I would recognize what makes it mine. But I also think, especially with the traditional art kind of exploration I'm doing right now, that it's very much to the whims of what I'm learning.
Mm.
I would argue that's a style within itself too. And I think
Media?
that's fascinating and cool. Well, not just media, like the process of getting to a style that like you recognize, or just being in that middle ground of like just going through whatever media you're going through. And it's just, I don't know. I feel like that could be a style too.
So about your art style, Pilfer, how do you feel?
Yeah. Well, I think like as Friendy was saying, by working on building an art style, you'll have like a different style in it until you get to where you want to go. But I think all art is a process of constantly learning. There's no point to where you're like, "Oh, I'm at the top." You can hit plateaus, but you'll never be at like the top of a mountain. You're like always moving your way up. So your style will sort of like change over time, but I think the process in which you already do art is what your style is. So, a good example, one of my friends, Satil, she also does art. She does comics and stuff, but all her comics are in black and white with some like values, which is like the darks and lights, some whites, some blacks, monochrome. But there's not any color to it, and there's not any rendering. And she's like, "Oh, should I render this or should I do that?"
No, it's family. They don't get to see me online ever.
Did you make them ping tubers so they can join in the background of
They
the video?
they will never know of my existence on the
What?
unphysical
Why?
plane. They know what they did.
Oh no. Jeez.
All right, so art
Yeah.
style, Pilfer.
Well, I was saying that in whatever your process already is. So as my friend draws in like black and white for comic, and does like values to show like shading whatnot, but she doesn't add color nor does she render. And the point that I was making is that basically if it's not already in your process, then that is your style. It's whatever you're already doing, whatever you're like most comfortable with, and whatever your like methods you use. Like maybe it's like a type of brush, maybe it's coloring or no coloring, etc. That is your style so far, and then you kind of evolve that over time. Like for me, for example, I was really bad at lighting and perspective, but because I was always trying to like work on that with my art, that became part of my style over time. And so I use a lot of perspective and I use a lot of rendering and lighting, etc. Whereas other people, they like to simplify more and they get like a really clean, simple style, and that is their style. And then you sort of evolves beyond that. And you can always add stuff to it if there's another artist you like, then like study their style, and you can kind of, by studying their style, your style will evolve to be more like theirs, but it'll never become their style because your style will always be like where it was towards that direction.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's a
Mhm.
long-winded answer.
It's a good answer. Good. I would say. Oh man, I would say, but I can't think of the word.
Very true.
no.
Very true.
So accurate.
Very accurate. That's what I was thinking.
It's about art style. It's about what Brendy said about like your online, if you're gonna be like, I know we already talked about, and I'm sure this is gonna be overlapped all the time, the YouTube art space, talking about it probably across episodes. But you had mentioned you keep your family separate from your art slash YouTube channel life, and I just would like to kind of like dig into that because it sounds like Pilfer,
Oh,
that was kind of a surprise to you. Like, oh,
Yeah, definitely.
so I would like to see kind of like talk about both sides of it and why somebody might want to include their family and why someone might want to not include them.
Yeah, give us the
oh,
tea.
for sure.
Tell us the big
Oh,
drama.
yeah. I just don't like them. They don't like most of them are
Oh my
boomers
gosh.
anyways. They don't get it. And if they do get it, like they have severed that tie with me that they don't get to see my art. They don't get to see like my personal, like my enclosed space.
Oh, I see.
So even though they would be interested in it, they don't get that luxury.
A little bit serious.
Sorry.
Are you
Yeah.
being totally
Oh
serious?
yeah. I'm totally serious about this, but like other family
Yeah.
members, like I feel weird when it's like my siblings as well. Like my brother, he knows me and stuff online, but like we don't we just like nod to each other and we go about our own things because it's our own little lives online. And my sister gets too personal about stuff, and if she doesn't like one of my characters, I'll keep posting it until she runs away. So
Well,
it's one of those things, but like I don't need family to justify my like likes and what I do like because it is my own little personal space because it's
mhm.
it's personal to me. I love art, any kind of art, and when I make it, it's personal to me. So if I get rejected, that's on me from other people. But if it's from people I know, but like even so, like if they praise it, it's like you don't really mean that. I know you don't mean that.
I
It's
feel
it's a
that way
stick figure. What are
too.
you doing? So
Yeah.
it's a tug of war in that sense, and I hate it. But that just comes with the territory of being like your own worst critic. So, and it's fine. You just gotta realize, like, hey, you're more than your art. Your art should just stand alone. You don't have to be right by it. You're fine.
Yeah.
I think that's so brave of you too to tell us all that after just telling us that your family's over, that you have people in your house.
Yeah. They're
Again, they don't
listening. They're
care.
listening through the door. They're like, "What is this
No,
team?"
no. They don't care. They don't care. They're in their
probably
own little
actually
world.
watching like basketball on TV right now or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Watching
the
your
Dodgers winning.
local
Oh.
sports. Yeah. Oh
I
yeah, you're
don't know.
California. That's right.
Yeah.
The Dodgers.
I'm not a sports person. I just know
Us
that the
LA
Dodgers,
types.
if the Dodgers win, the Panda Bowls over there are like $5. So I'm like, I hope the Dodgers do win, so I could get a $5
And that is
Chinese
your
bowl.
team. That is your team then.
If it wins me a Panda Bowl for $5, yes, go Dodgers.
Funny. I love Panda Express. It's one of my
Me
favorites.
too.
Back to food.
And back to
It always
food.
comes back to food. No,
I'm
no
actually curious how your art life is to your family, Perry, or
Yeah.
if even at all, or I guess like coworkers, like other people in your life,
So
strangers.
I feel like at first, so I started my channel during COVID, and at first I sent the link to everybody, right? Like I sent it to my mom, I put it on my Facebook. Anybody that knew me had access to it if they looked. If they just
Yeah.
looked, just look at Facebook, you would have known. You could have found my channel. Now I don't do any of that, because of a couple reasons. Partly leaning towards what Friendy said, where you just don't need that close personal judgment from people you know, because it carries a lot stronger sting
Yeah.
if they say anything that's discouraging than
Right.
if, say, a stranger did, somebody random on the internet. But also, the other reason why I have sort of separated those two lives is because it doesn't do you any favors with the algorithm. Because you might send it to your mom must be your biggest fan, so she's just going to go and like all your videos, but she's going to watch 10 seconds of it and then exit the video, and that's going to hurt
Right.
you. Or her algorithm, she watches your art channel, but no other art channels. So you're not getting recommended to the right audience because the algorithm is reading her as a consumer of your content and trying to push your videos to people like her. But if your mom doesn't watch art channels, it's a dead end. So
Right.
That's true.
even if they think they're helping you, if they're not true consumers of art content, it can actually hurt you. Not you, but hurt your channel. I feel that though with the estranged dad thing though. My dad and I are estranged, and I
Yeah.
hope he doesn't know about my channel because he's not even like on my Facebook. I would block him if I knew where he was. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, absolutely not. Do not watch my stuff. So
Mm-mm.
I hope he never finds it.
That's like one of the other things, like with Facebook, like didn't you have to like have like your real name out there for a bit?
Yeah.
No, that's why I didn't join Facebook, because like my family like, oh, why did, like on his side, like, well, why didn't you have like a Facebook? Like I know why, but I will not tell you why, because they want to
Your
find
real
it.
name's Mufu.
It is Mufu. How did you know? You're on my Facebook. Okay, I don't have
On your
Facebook.
Yeah.
What about you, Pilfer? Where do you stand with all of the whole family
Oh, well,
life?
that's private. I don't tell anybody about
Ah,
it. No,
well,
I
I
do.
respect it.
No, that's cool. I do think it's very interesting, and I would love to know in the comments how other people think about this. I think this is like one of the most interesting questions about artists that I've ever like heard, because I often ask on like my channel too, how other people if they share it with their family or their friends or not at all and just online. And some do share it with their family and they're like, oh, I get good response or whatever. But me personally, I share my artwork with my mom because she also was an artist. But
Hmm.
because my dad's a musician, he's like a sports bro. I love my dad. He's the best person I know.
Is
He's the
dad
reason
haters
I
club.
am.
Get out. Just
I know,
kidding.
I know. You're not
No,
allowed, Pilfer.
no.
He's the best person I know, and he's the
I
reason
think
I
it's
am who I
nice.
am is because of him.
That's
So
really
mad
sweet.
respect to that man. Yeah, but if I show him my art, he won't get it. Like he doesn't get anime, and like my art is very like cute plushy characters slash anime. That's like kind of like how I portray it. But he won't get it. He'll just be like, "Why is this grown man drawing, like a cute bunny rabbit? Like that's weird." But he also
Mhm.
does kind of get it. Like, "Oh, you're an artist. Like that's cool, man. Like keep it up. Good. Like thumbs up. Very cool." But also like I'm not invested in this at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a common misconception. People are like, "You're a grown adult. You can't be drawing that cutesy little
right.
like the type of cartoons you would draw for like a toddler, like Blue's Clues and stuff like that."
Right.
It's like, who do you think
Yeah.
is drawing that?
Mm-mm.
Exactly.
Who do you think draws that? Who do
Yeah.
you think draws Blue's Clues? It's an
Yeah.
adult.
Mm-mm.
But he doesn't really mean it with like a negative misconception. He just doesn't understand. Like it doesn't
Yeah,
compute. Those lines don't cross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just like how older generations of like
Right.
family members tend to be. Like they just don't get it. They don't get like the whole like anime cartoons. Like even like I want to say Family Guy, they would still not get it. Like they think art, oh, something in a museum, but they see like an anime guy or whatever, and they're like, that is not art when it's obviously drawn on a piece of paper or digitally,
Yeah.
whatever, and it's not the same, but it's like the same technically.
So
It's
are we
horrible.
saying
Right.
part of the separation is the generation gap?
I think
I
that
think
is a big
so.
part of it. Because I know with our generation, anime is like pretty universal. Pokemon. And so if you see like a cute bunny character, like, oh, I know Pokemon, so I get that, etc. But it like every zone of my life is a little different. I'm trying to be better about merging them because I feel like that's a healthier life to have. Is like if you find that your family is like, oh, why do you draw that? It's like, well, learn to defend yourself, learn to defend your art and like your reasoning for being who you are. And I think that helps you grow as a person because it's like the world's never going to be nice when it matters. It's only going to be
Yeah.
nice when it's like in your comfort zone.
That is
And if
so
you're in your
true.
if you're in your comfort zone, you're not growing, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Nobody can tell you how to like when to leave, but when you do decide to, put on that armor, be ready to be like, oh, I draw big booby anime girl because I like girls, and like that's okay. Do draw your art. I'm just saying that because that's like pretty common for
Yeah.
boys to be like,
Yeah.
I
Pretty
draw anime
typical.
girl. Yeah. So I started sharing it at work too, like not my art, but like, oh, you have Instagram, here's mine. Oh, I only draw like my art stuff, and they're like, oh, I like this, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Like normally I would be more closed off about it because it's like I don't want to bring that to my workspace and like have to deal
Yeah.
with that. But because of that, I see like reinforcement by people being like, "Oh wow, you're really good. How come you don't work for Disney? Why are you here? Like that's weird." And I'm just like, I don't know.
That's a compliment.
Yeah, exactly. And so
Mhm.
that helped me believe in myself more. So I would almost say like taking a step. Oh my gosh, invasion of the
Cat
body
attack.
cat
Do you hurt the
snatchers.
cat?
Yeah, it was like "Meow." To finish my
Sorry.
thought though. No, you're fine, you're fine.
It was
Yeah.
blame the cat. Blame the cat.
Yeah,
Not this
blame the
cat.
cat. Meow.
The off-screen cat.
You're both the same cat. Same cat. You have like meow Tourette's or something. But to finish that thought is like I think expanding outward towards like sharing your art everywhere by strengthening yourself, your resolve when people don't like it is part of being an artist and growing as one. As kind of I said before, it's kind of like reiterating that point. It's like, but you'll also in getting compliments, they're more believable because these people work with you. Like they don't have to like your stuff. Like people liking your stuff that don't have to is more confidence boosting than like again your family members. Good job. Here's a thumbs up for you. Here's a pat on the back. Like that is neato.
it means nothing sometimes like that
Right.
though.
It's not nothing. It's just you're
Yeah,
not
sometimes.
sure if you can trust it. It's still nice
Right.
to have.
Yeah. We talked about like when we don't show our art, but when do you feel comfortable enough to show your art to somebody who has the same interest, or like an artist alley, or someone that's just like rando at work, like a coworker, like Pilfer? When do you feel comfortable enough, and what do you take their I guess how they take your art or whatever? Or do they follow up with you like, hey ho, good stuff or bad stuff?
Can you answer first?
I can, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
friendly. You're
so I had this coworker. She was super sweet. She would come in every day with like her family, and her mom was so adorable. They were a cute family. So she was my coworker at Dollar Tree for a while. But her brother interested me because he was kind of silly. So I was like, okay. He looked like Mario, like Super Mario. But no offense to like to him looking like me. I think it was interesting and fun. Like it was a character, basically. But cool. And he was like into like making cartoons. I'm like, hey, I'm into that. I'm into making cartoons. Maybe we could like be friends. The daughter was like more friendly towards me, and like got to talk to me more, and I was like, okay. I quit my job. I didn't go back to work. I went back to the job that I was just to like say hi, pick up a few things, and then get the heck out. And she was working there, and she's like, hey, can I get like your email or whatever? And I handed her like my business card that had like all my art links or whatever, because I just came back from a convention. And she texted me. She didn't text me back. She just like emailed me back of like a few things or whatever, and that was it. And she said like, oh, I did see your channel or whatever, because I was like barely live streaming at the time, like starting off. I mean, it was interesting. She never came to like a live stream or whatever. I'm not like faulting her for that. It's just like certain life stuff happens. But I was like, does a brother want to like collaborate anything to get an art person to be like, hey, we're friends, art buddies? The closest I've ever like talked to him is when I was at an anime convention down over here, and it was relatively close, so he saved up for it. So he was there, and I was handing out like bracelets and random other like doodads at the convention, because it was one of those things like, oh, here's a ribbon. I was like, I want to get involved in the ribbon trend, but all I had was like friendship bracelets. So I was just handing out friendship bracelets. I was like, the sister would like a friendship bracelet. So I went up to him and was like, hey, your sister here, this is for her. And he was like, oh, thank you. And then he went away. And it's like, I don't know how to talk to people. So that's it. That's my story.
Wow.
You made an art friend, though. I'd consider that like a win.
Huh? No, because they never talk to me ever again.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. That's weird. Because normally, especially artists, usually are like, "Oh, I'm excited."
I thought
Yeah.
so. I don't know if I made it clear. I'm pretty sure I didn't, because all I said was, hey, but like, I talked to the sister, like, hey, I do the art thing. I'm into making my own cartoons. And I didn't make it like, I only talked to like select few, like, hey, I'm making like cartoons on like, the people that like seem to be interested or in the know of like, oh, I like cartoons, I like anime, and I've seen them at the conventions that were my coworkers. I'm like, oh, those are the people that I could talk to about art stuff. But of course, like, they don't they don't reciprocate when you say like, hey, I'm making cartoons. They're like, hey, cool, I just watch them. Like, they don't make them. But like, he specifically was like going to like an art kind of sort of college, and like, trying to make like his own show. And I'm like, hey, I do that. Maybe we could do that together. Maybe we could talk. Maybe we could pitch to each other. Maybe we could collaborate or something. Nah. Yeah, I've had other art SketchUp kind of things and stuff, but that doesn't. Those are like old friends from like high school, where we like actually knew like, hey, you're into anime, you're into art, you're into cartooning. Me too. And so that's where that is. But like, other than that, like meeting new people or even coworkers in that kind of sense, finding the right time and place to be like, hey, I'm a YouTuber is kind of weird. But you want to also feel like, we're friends enough. Here's this, because I don't hand it out to my family.
Understandable, I would say. A little bit sad, because I
Mhm.
don't want you to feel like you can't talk to me about your art.
No, it's fine. I mean, that's why I live stream, so I can talk to people. That's just how it is with me. So I was just curious, like, how do you guys feel about sharing your art to actually people that like you want to share art with?
I kind of work in a fairly art-centric industry. So for me, well, one, I'm just not very shy to begin with. I'm like an open book. Even when I shouldn't be, I'm an open book. I'm like, oh, here's my family trauma about how I met my dad. Here you go. Being in like the film industry or in the marketing industry, and so working with like movies or even just doing marketing and doing posters or advertisements and stuff like that, which is kind of where I've been since 2017 because I graduated in 2017, and so I went into the industry working with the arts. Before that, I was doing government stuff and blah. That's boring. Long story short, I have shown my old Instagram. I deleted it at one point, and I have a new one that I don't use either. But my old Instagram I used to share around work, and there was a lot of artists, at my at every job I've been to since 2017. So even now, like I work with a lot of people who do art, but I work remotely, so I don't really know people in real life. And so if I see an artist in real life, and I just came across one at a wedding like 2 weeks ago, and we all hit it off, and we're like, yeah, let's have you guys over for game night. So we just had a game night last weekend and had them over. And like when the artist got to I was so excited. I was like setting up my desk, and I was like, I'm going to show them this, and I wanted to look real cool, and I was like really excited.
You're gonna be so jealous.
I was just wanted to be impressed, not jealous, but impressed. And like I just really wanted to make an art friend, like a real one in the real world, in real life, and I was so excited.
Wow.
And so they had him over for game night, and I grabbed them as they come in the door, and I'm like, come look at my stuff.
Immediately.
Look at all my Mickey Nets. I have so many pencils.
And we're leaving.
No.
They're like, and we're never coming back.
Yeah.
No, I hope they did come back though.
Well, not yet, but we're planning to do another game night like in November. Yeah, so
How fun.
I think probably the answer to that question, and it's going to vary from person to person, like Pilfer said earlier. If you got an answer to this question you want to share, drop it in the comments because we'd love to kind of get an understanding of where the community is at. I think it maybe just depends on your personality. Like I'm not a loud person in person, not loud, like vocally loud, but I am a open person.
Outspoken, maybe?
Outspoken person. I am a very direct person.
Yeah.
So I will just tell you, I'm like, here's my stuff. Boom. Lay it all on the table.
When I first met Perry, she was like, Pilfer, I think you're a big meanie who smells. And I was like, wow.
What?
I was like, dang.
That got Pilfer's number.
That's how we became friends. No, just kidding.
But also, dun dun dun, I think we should collaborate in real life, you guys.
Yeah, let's
That'd
go.
be nice.
I have to go all
we
the
all
way to
have
California.
we have to fly all the way to Texas, and then we'd be like, "Where are you guys?" And
I think it'd be
we're in the
easier.
separate states.
I just ghost you guys
Randy,
the whole
you and I are
time.
in the same county. Why can't Pilfer come to us?
Yeah, it would be
I don't
easier
think
if I
we're
just took you
exactly
guys.
in the same county, but I can meet you halfway.
I'm not gonna like ask you.
We're
where
close
you live.
enough. Like,
That would be a
don't
little
worry, I'm an
weird.
hour. I'll just say I'm an hour from LA.
Give me
Let's just say
your
that.
address. Give me your address right now.
Tell me where you are. Yeah. So I'm in LA.
I'm
you're an hour.
I'm actually I'm an hour away. It's not that bad, but
Okay.
traffic.
Right.
Yeah. So if Pilfer is coming back, and you used to be here in LA, Pilfer, right?
I know.
So you've got ties to LA. So there's a good chance
Yeah,
you might
like,
come back to LA.
I'll visit my parents next year.
Wow.
Like July-ish,
Gotta
probably.
do a meetup, even if it's like,
Yeah.
even if you guys don't want to like visit, like say you don't want to come to my house specifically. If it's
do an
next
anime
year, it could be
convention.
like a 1 year anniversary kind of thing.
We
for,
should
like,
all
the
do
podcast.
Anime Con
Yeah.
together.
Anime Con.
Yeah,
If we did a con, that'd be really cool. I feel like cons are kind of
Yeah.
expensive.
they are.
They are kind of a lot.
It's like
Yeah.
$60 usually for like 3
Oh, really?
days.
For anime?
Yeah, to enter. Yeah.
Bro,
some
I've
of
been
them,
going to
yeah.
the wrong
But then-
cons.
yeah.
Where are you
Then-
going? What convention are you going to, Perry?
I went to VidCon, and let me tell you, I dropped $1,000.
Oh,
Oh my gosh! What the
Wait,
heck? That's
wait.
crazy.
which is it? The one VidCon that you did a video on?
Yeah, I spent probably
What?
$1,000.
I mean that does look
$1
like
million?
$1,000.
No,
What are you-
$1 million.
no.
The inflation much?
No, but
Crazy.
like VidCon's been like weird for the past couple of like 5 years. Like it doesn't seem like VidCon, like a very VidCon-y kind of VidCon,
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
They've been kind of, I don't know. I guess they're trying to find their identity again from the sounds
Yeah,
of
we should do Lightbox next year. That sounds cool.
You
That's very
drop
artsy.
all the details in the Discord. Let us know.
Yeah, what is
Oh,
what is
I
Lightbox?
will. A live box is going on right now. Actually, it's mainly based around like the animation industry and like professionals. And the dealers hall is nothing but artists. So it's like artist alley tables up the yin yang, and it's all professional from like industry people, and it's amazing. And you get connections, and it's just a bunch of artists walking around and like buying stuff, and it's
Sounds
it's
cool.
amazing. And I want to go there one day, but I don't have the money or the know-how. I mean, I
Yeah.
know how, but
Maybe
like money.
if we
But
plan really far in advance, that can be our like meetup / 1 year
Yay.
anniversary podcast and do that
Mhm.
next year.
maybe. Yes,
So,
art
making
stuff.
friends online.
Yeah.
Are you my friends? Are we online? Is this
Yeah.
reality?
I mean, I feel like
Real.
I consider you guys like real life friends to you at this point.
Aw.
Yeah.
I'd allow you to stay overnight at
Aw.
my house.
That's so
Now, would you
sweet.
want to
Let's
stay
go-
in my chain basement? It's up to
what? Chains?
you.
Are there
In my-
pillows at least?
No,
What?
it's just metal beds.
You're talking about a dungeon, my friend.
Yeah. Oh yeah, a dungeon. That's what I meant.
He's like going medieval on us. He's like
Yeah.
committing to the
Is-
bit.
Yeah.
How's the rent? Is it free rent?
It's pretty
If it's
cheap.
free rent, I'm
pretty
down.
cheap. It costs
Pretty.
it costs an arm and a leg.
No.
Not the drawing arm. We need the drawing arm.
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
You
the
can take the
drawing.
left one, no prob.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right-handed?
Yeah.
Are you not right-handed?
No, I'm a lefty.
What? That
Ooh,
explains
how
a lot.
fun.
Well, because it means I'm
It
right-brained.
may not be left-handed.
Yeah,
Actually, that's
Yeah.
probably where all my assertiveness comes from, because I'm right-brained.
true.
Wow.
extrovert vibes.
Which is so funny, because I'm like, oh, look at my travel sketchbook, blah, 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 and I'm so outgoing. But I'm like, oh, no, but I'm an introvert. People are like, lies.
I would never guess.
I just never put like labels on myself, like, oh, I'm an introvert or oh, I'm an extrovert, because my sister does that all the time to me, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm just gonna be me. I don't want to know anything like that. Nah, I'm. People always change, so that's like my thing. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep changing. Whatever.
Complex anyway.
Such a
Yeah.
Pisces response. Such a Pisces.
Huh? You
Yeah.
think
I'm
I'm
just kidding. I'm
Pisces?
just kidding.
Huh?
I don't know anything about
I'm a
astrology.
Pisces.
Astronomy.
Man, we're discovering so
Oh, are
much.
you? Hey, I'm a Cancer.
That's a part. That's a part of being friends. We're always
Yeah.
finding out new things.
Mm.
Right.
I love how she just forces it back on the track. She's like back on topic.
Yeah.
I
Learn
do
about
like
each other.
art. Art.
You were asking about making friends online
Yeah, because you share.
as artists, right?
We were talking about how sort of like protective we are of sharing our art identities with people in real life. We have these boundaries, right? But like, what about boundaries for people you are acquainted with online or friends with? Because I do agree with that we're friends. Do you have like boundaries? You guys know I don't have any boundaries, but do you guys have boundaries?
Sheesh.
Yeah, I definitely do. Like if I don't know. I guess I have like certain walls. I'm like, okay, if you're not into this, then I know not to show you any of my stuff, or I'm gonna let you keep talking and then see if I do want to share it. Like it could just go off of vibes. So like, oh,
Right.
this person is being really pompous and not in a funny way, then yeah, I don't think I'm gonna show my stuff because they're gonna like compare it to this or that. So I definitely have walls and certain people that like, yeah, I'll show my stuff too. But most times I say nah. But it's not to say like, oh, I have a link everywhere to like find me. So it's up to them if they want to. I think that's what happened with Pilfler. Like I just showed up to his stream like, hey, nice stream. And then I left. And then like Piffler was like, hey, come back.
Yeah.
I like your voice. And so I guess it's one of those things. So I'm like, oh, well, maybe they do like me. So
Aw, I do like you.
What? Yeah, I love meeting other artists. That's the main reason I became an artist, was to meet people. Turns out most people are kind of smelly, so
yeah,
Online.
yeah. Well, just in general.
it's a good nose.
Yeah.
He knows.
He's got that
No.
digital sniffer.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so it's cool. Like if there's another artist that even takes like interest in hopping in the stream and saying hi, like of course, like I want to know about them and where they're at on their journey and like what they're up to, because I think it's so cool that now, like in 2024, or 2016, whatever, you could just like post your art online for one thing, like DeviantArt, whatever was a whole thing, and meeting other artists through that. But now like people have entire YouTube channels dedicated to like how they perceive art and like what art is to them and like what it means to be themselves as a person who also draws art. And so you're getting to know someone almost in like a very vulnerable way because art is a vulnerable like subject. So you're getting to know them more than you would just by meeting them in person. Because if you're like, oh, here's my portfolio, go ahead and look through it, or here's my art, they're not gonna like nerd out. They're gonna be too
Yeah,
like locked up to be like,
yeah, they need to connect, like as a
yeah.
human.
So I almost rather connect to people online through their art first because that's how you're really getting to know them.
Yeah.
More than in person. Yeah.
Because they feel safer behind the screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Perry, how easy is it to make friends online? Like, do you have like the same viewers that show up to your streams, or do you like share certain like art plots and stuff with your viewers?
I have no friends. I'm just kidding. I'm just
What?
kidding.
Wow, jeez Louise.
What are we, chop liver?
Just kidding.
Come on.
Wow.
Just kidding. No, I do. I have I always feel so grateful as a small channel as well to the people who don't treat you like a small channel. That they still come,
Yeah.
they comment, they join your Discord, they're interested in what's coming next. They want to have a conversation and really just be those art friends. Like they want to nerd out, as Pilfer said, over a common passion. And I think that that's amazing. And I agree that having a YouTube channel really does create such an opportunity. I am so thankful to the art friends that I have. And I know that some of them, this is so great, some of them are going to watch this episode of the podcast and be like, she's talking about me. So I'm really excited for them to hear this and know that they have brought so much joy to my art journey. And I think that making art friends is 100% positive and healthy and just great thing. And even if it's behind a screen, it doesn't make it any less authentic. It could possibly, like Pilfer said, make it more authentic.
That's so nice. I'm having this thing where like I talk to friends online, right, about like my cartoons, and they talk to me about their cartoons that they're working on and other things. When the other person doesn't find the other thing quite as interesting, or they're doing their own thing, and it's like, oh, I don't want to interrupt them or whatever. I feel kind of awkward in that sense. If I get like, I don't want to say like a friend because they're more of an acquaintance fan, and they feel more inclined and more interested in like the comic that I made or whatever. I feel kind of like, wow, I have a million fans. Are they my friend? But it's also finding that limit of like, no, we're just acquaintances. But yeah, I will show them like, maybe like certain plot points and stuff that I don't show the other friend. I feel kind of guilty, but I don't know. It's like finding a right person to like collaborate with a little bit on your stuff, even though like it's not like your main goal. You just want to like talk to somebody and spill it and be like, okay, this is what I have planned or whatever, because I feel like everybody has their own little story they're working on internally, but like to actually say it out to somebody, maybe they'll catch things and just to bounce ideas off of. I think that's really good to have. But when you don't have that, it's like, oh, I guess I will go to the fan, but like at the same time, maybe don't. You want to keep things a little secret for them because they're the ones enjoying this story. I mean, I'm enjoying this story, but like I'm the one making it, so of course I am. But it's one of those things.
Know when to drop spoilers and when not to.
Yeah. Does anybody else have like somebody to bounce ideas off of, like
Great question.
another art friend?
Also, if you're making art friends online, don't dox yourself.
Oh, that too. Yeah, don't do that.
I feel like that's a given though, no?
I feel like because sometimes we have a young audience, just let them know. Like just because
Fair enough.
somebody is like they totally vibe with you, we're talking about meeting up, and we're like, yeah, friendy, don't give me your address. Just we'll meet up in Los Angeles. But like just
Yeah.
respecting your privacy enough, even as your friend and as your collaborator, to not like compromise your personal data.
Online safety is best safety.
Yeah, definitely.
But you were asking about people to brainstorm with.
Yeah, like collab or just like bounce ideas off of. Do you guys have like anybody like that?
I do. So this is a long story. But
Ooh.
so I was in an like animation class. I met this guy. He's a pretty cool dude. We didn't really jive well. He liked talking about a lot of stuff that he enjoys, and then I just listened because I'm drawing. But he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go see this My Hero Academia movie," and I'm like, "All right, I'll go." Like he invited me, so of course I'm gonna go. And so we watched it, and he brought a friend. she's super cool. And then I never saw her again. But then for like years, I think like 2 years, and then the next My Hero Academia movie comes out, and then he invites me, and we go again. And then she comes back with her boyfriend, and I was like, oh, this guy, like I don't know anything about him. What like I don't know if he's cool or not, but he ended up being like he's now one of my best friends, and she's also one of my best friends. And
That's
the
so
other guy that
nice.
originally invited me is also one of my best friends. So the point of like explaining all this is they're the people because two of them are artists, the other's an architect, the boyfriend's an architect.
Mm,
He's like
mm.
in one of the best schools in the country for it, which I'm so proud of him.
Wow.
But whenever I'm like excited about something, I post it there first in like our group chat, and then they give me their like feedback, and I'm like we have an understanding by this point because it's been multiple years since then of like meeting.
Mm.
But it's like if there's something that's off, you tell me. If there's like
Mhm.
something to improve, you let me know. Because the more you respect someone as an artist, the more you want to help them like improve. Obviously,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if they're at that point, then you should tell them like, oh, this looks off, and not
Yeah.
because it's not like a disrespect. If anything, it's more of a respect. Like I respect you as an artist so much, I'm going to tell you that something's wrong. But now because there's like this reciprocity of like, oh, I'm posting my art. Oh, that's really good. I like this. Or oh, that looks like that looks weird or whatever. Then somebody else will post their art, which makes you want to post yours. But now you need like new art. So like everybody's posting in this thing because we're so close now, and it's just been like an honest blessing. God blessing like us meeting each other, and it's just been so cool. But
Mhm.
that's the like my group of friends that I have specifically for that. But then there's also like Discord channels that I'm a part of that I'll post. People are like, "Oh, it's so cute," that's so cool,
Mm.
and that's really nice to see. Which I think is
Mm,
very very healthy and very important as an artist to have that.
that's nice.
Yeah.
Perry, do you have anybody like that?
You guys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do, but more for my writing side of my
Mm,
Mm.
creativity. So
that's right.
yeah, I've been in
Yeah.
writing groups for more than a decade.
Mhm.
And they are probably my very closest friends, the people that I've written with. And we do collaborative writing the same way you would like collaborate on art, where we all create a character, we're sharing the same universe, and then we just sort of like tell stories and we take turns saying what happens, and then the other person will write how their character reacts in that situation. And this is the whole thing. And it's just been the most amazing experience to share creativity. But yeah, I agree that it's super healthy for your growth as an artist to have a group you trust and can share ideas with and can how did you phrase it, Friendy?
Oh,
Bounce
someone to bounce
ideas?
ideas. Yeah,
Yes, and bounce
bounce
ideas off
ideas
of.
off of.
So for
Mm-mm.
me, it's been my writing group, but when it comes to like my channel stuff, it's you guys.
We all gotta have our own little YouTube group, so I appreciate you guys too.
Yeah, definitely.
What about you?
Oh, me?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
it's your
oh!
turn, Brandy.
I thought I said it, but I don't know. Maybe I didn't say it. I do have this one friend. We I got to know him because like I got him to voice like a few things in my stuff, and then I voiced a few things in his stuff, and so we just got to talking, and it. I help him with like bouncing out ideas off of his stuff, and I don't do it so much with my stuff because it's kind of like I don't know, deep and confusing. And I
Mhm.
don't know. I feel really weird just like handing out like, yeah, this is the plot point. This is the major character that dies. And like just all the major spoiler stuff, just like straight out like just shoot him with it. I feel kind of bad because one time I did do that and he got sad because he didn't expect one character to die. And I'm
Aw.
like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. And now I feel bad.
Well,
But like he's a good sport about everything, and I try to give as much best criticism I can, and I respect it too because he has like a lot of really good ideas. So I just want to give him some of my best ideas. Like that, I'm also a fan of his stuff too. So and like I don't know if it's vice versa. It's fine if it's not. So, but
it
yeah.
is. You have really good stuff. All your art's really good.
Mm-mm.
We are at 1 hour, so if we want to think of ways to sort of like close the conversation neatly.
What was
Mm.
the thesis of this podcast of this episode.
I think it kind of turned into your artistic identity and personal boundaries.
Yeah, well, to bring it all together, or whatever. I think in connecting all of these like different topics that we kind of jumped to, I think they all kind of like become the same thing, which is essentially like you as an artist, and like even your art style is reflective as you and like how you feel and like what you like, as well as what you share with people openly, be it at work, at home, friends, at school, anywhere. And these are all things, so it's like as vulnerable as you are in your art, I think it's important to become over time as vulnerable like that out in the open. And when you meet, like, usually everybody's pretty nice. I feel like most people are pretty polite, and they're not going to be like, that sucks, you suck. They're going to be like, oh, that's neat. Like at worst they'll be like, oh, okay, that's like, I'm not really interested, but cool. And then if they are rude, which hopefully that's not the case, defend yourself. Like, stand up for what you believe in your art, because that's what's going to define your art in the long run. Is like, these are the things these are the beliefs I have. These are my ideals. I have the power of anime and God on my side. So it's it all works together. It all works together to create your art style and you as an artist. Like the same thing.
I think that was beautifully said. I have no notes.
Yeah, same.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. We would love to hear your personal thoughts on these topics in the comments, of course. And please give it a thumbs up if you have watched it to this point. We really do hope you liked it. And subscribe so that you can always catch the next episode. And don't worry if you want to hear more right away. We've got a whole backlog of videos already ready for you. So go into the channel and check those out.
We would love to hear your thoughts on those topics too. And
Yeah,
today specifically. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I was gonna eat their thoughts too. We're that
my gosh.
I'm
hungry.
hungry.
Yeah,
We gotta
gonna
go.
lock
chomp,
them up
chomp.
in my dungeon.
It's time
My
to eat.
dungeon.
It's dinner
Let's
time.
go. Dungeon and eating.
What are you guys
Delicious
gonna get
and
for
dungeon.
dinner? What are you guys gonna do for
Ho-
dinner? I'm gonna get
Hopefully
Taco Bell.
Panda. Hopefully
Tacos.
Panda Express.
Ya-
Wait, you don't
Taco
want
Bell.
pizza?
It's gonna be
I like it.
tacos. Sorry.
Okay, taco pizza. Okay.
Taco pizza.
Taco pizza. Your guys' buys were really good. I'm just gonna say bye. Bye. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.